200 words per minute, second speed. Ready? Start. In the course of the debate on the motion of thanks for the President's address, the Minister of Commerce said in the Lok Sabha, Mr. Speaker, having heard the speech of one of the members of the opposition, I thought that I should raise a very basic question about the pith and substance of the President's address and how we should assess it. One of them remarked that it is a ritualistic assessment on the doubtful achievements of the government. It was also stated that it is a sugar-coated address. It is perfectly easy to use general invectives and broadsides. But then what is the argument that they have put forth to strengthen their generalized expressions which they have indulged in? It is this in this context that I should raise this question and deal with it. It is also easy for previous pressing out holding positions of responsibility to indulge in vague accusations and remarks and get away with it. But such persons do justice neither to society nor to the country as a whole. Before going deep into the matter, we should take into consideration the composition of our society. We are a diversified people, diversified in many respects such as religion, language, region and way of life. We have to face external pressures which also try to create problems internally. These pressures could be political as well as economic. While political imperialism has become a matter of the past, economic imperialism has become the order of the day. Economically, strong developed countries would like to pressurize the developing countries to see that their goods have a flourishing market in these countries. In the process of this pressurization, political problems do arise and economic problems weaken the very existence of the government. It is against this background that one has to judge what has been achieved by the government. If you look at it from this angle, what we have achieved socially, politically and economically is indeed phenomenal. In spite of the bottlenecks in the economic sphere, we have done exceedingly well. Notwithstanding the fact that there had been monsoon failures in many parts of the country, we have sufficient food grains in our godowns. This is indeed a great achievement. To whom do you ascribe these achievements? It is definitely due to the policies of the government, the way the government have conducted themselves in the process of economic growth and the way the government have managed the economy of the country. Look at the industrial infrastructure, namely power, coal, steel, hot metal and fertilizers. The President's address itself deals with the growth rate. The fact remains that the industrial infrastructure is very satisfactory. We can say with our heads aloft that we have really succeeded in turning the economy to the betterment of the common man. If you go into the industrial production, you will also find that the growth in this sphere, especially in the very sensitive area of electronics, has had a quantum jump. I would very much like to say something about the economic growth in the country and the results produced over the years. In the field of public sector undertakings, the government continues the policy of mixed economy which had been firmly established by our predecessors. We have been making them more autonomous to make them more efficient so that they may continue to be the strong backbone of the economy. The tardy type of criticism that is sometimes sought to be levelled is that there had been a drift. We are not deviating from our policy of making the public sector undertaking strong. But then, sir, I for one would believe that it is not absolutely necessary for every public sector undertaking to make profits. I do not say that they need not, but once it is ensured that they are efficient or up to the high mark or of service to society and are providing good job opportunities, then notwithstanding the fact that they are making a little loose, we should say hats off to them. The President's address has also laid stress on the irresistible conclusion that our secular and democratic structure has to be sustained. In fact, ours is a complex society and the constitutional documents of ours take care of every segment of society. The socio-politico-economic aspirations of every segment had been taken due care of by the Constitution. We should be grateful to the framers of the Constitution who have accommodated every shade of opinion, secularism to the backbone of our nation. It is one of the principles which had been included in the preamble of the Constitution itself. It is unfortunate that in spite of 40 years of our freedom, we have been drifting towards the cancerous effects of communalism. I personally feel that the greatest danger to secularism is the extreme communal feelings among the majority community. I am afraid that the practicing growth of communalism in the majority community is bound to have serious repercussions and would shatter the very basic ethos and values of our concepts. I am sure that the honorable members would certainly have noticed that the President's address has also made a mention of the future policy of the government in tackling poverty and the anti-poverty measures which we have been pursuing. It has not only referred to what has been done in the past, but also holds out the promise that they would be pursued vigorously so that social justice becomes a reality and no more remains a fiction. The thrust of the government policy is to improve the welfare of the socially and economically weaker sections of society. The government have a direction in this regard and would take all possible steps to emancipate the poor from their poverty. So it is in this context I feel that the President's address is a document which offers high hopes for the teeming millions of the country. With these words, I commend the resolution for the acceptance in the House. Thank you.